Hello, and welcome to the Recharge Challenge. I am so excited that you have agreed to participate in our program, and I want to congratulate you on taking this step because you are one step closer to helping yourself understand what you need to do to be better in your life. You have committed to identifying the answer to the question, what will help me recharge? And when we ask that question, I'm asking it very intentionally because most of the people that I work with are looking for a way to recharge in their very, very busy lives. So this is day one of the challenge. My name is Lynn Seth, and I'm the owner and founder of Lead Her Solutions. I am privileged and honored to be able to facilitate this discussion over the next 7 days, to be able to walk this journey with you as you sit back and identify all the busyness in your life and you start to assess how is it that I really want to show up in that busy life. And then we get to address that question. What is it that I need to do to be able to recharge, refuel in light of all of my busyness? And I know that you're busy. I get it. Trust me, I understand. I'm busy. Many of my clients are busy because our lives look like this. We have so many tasks and activities that we're trying to do on any given day, in any given hour, right? We have appointments for ourselves and other people, our children, our family, our friends. We're trying to keep up with everything. The schedule is packed. So the question becomes, how do you want to show up in that life? Once we're able to identify how you want to show up, I'm not going to lie to you. All these stickies and the busyness is not going to go away. So that brings us right back to our question. What is it that you need to do to be able to recharge, refuel in light of all of these sticky note busyness, right? Despite the appointments, despite the expectations, in the demands, what is it that you need so that you can show up better? Because most of us want to show up calm, positive, happy, right? You want to have this Zen life. Even though you have all these stickies with all these things you're supposed to do, you want to be able to show up in a way that you are proud of. But it can be hard. A lot of my clients tell me they show up like this, exhausted, or like this, constantly in a state of question and wonder and worry. Or sometimes you end up like my friend here, where you are at wit's end and your hair is standing on end and you just want to scream. This is reality for many of us. But this is also not what many of us want to be known for or show up as. And so it brings us back to that question. What is it that I can do to give me the fuel that I need? How can I get recharged? How can I breathe again? Is really the question. So before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about myself. I have been in the space of performance and leadership for well over 20 years. I have had the privilege of working with leaders all over the world, organizations all over the world, organizations such as Johnson & Johnson, Univision, M&M, Mars, Pepsi. And my role has always been to help people understand the skills and practices of leadership, the skills and practices that are going to help them show up better in their own lives. What are the behaviors? What are the things that you can do to be better in your role as a mom or a daughter or a employee at your organization or a friend or member in your community? There's things that you can do. And my calling in life has been to help people discover those things and figure out how to align them with your life needs. Along my journey working with organizations for 20 years, I have developed an expertise and gained tremendous insight working specifically with women. It's my sweet spot. It's my passion. A number of these organizations, specifically Smith College and Johnson & Johnson and Univision, are organizations that bring me in specifically to work with their executive women's leadership programs. I'm honored to be able to do so. It's a privilege to be able to do so. And so I'm excited about the concept of bringing this information to you. And when I say bringing this information, it's the information of self-leadership. I shared that I have a background in an advanced degree in organizational development, specifically looking at leadership. And the work that I do in the organizations that I shared with you and in my private practice, doing one-on-one coaching with clients, is all around self-leadership. Taking the key tenets of traditional leadership and applying it inward, applying it to you, the individual. Because when you can do that, that's when you have the power. That's when you have the influence over your life, and specifically influence in terms of how you think, so your mental perspective, and what you do, your behaviors. Understanding and owning those two pieces is a critical part of self-leadership. And that's the critical part that's going to help you go from being who you are today and take you to where you want to go and who you want to be. So I'm excited to be able to talk to you about self-leadership and to be able to spend time over the next 7 days specifically looking at one piece of self-leadership. And I say one piece because there is an entire framework to the work that I do. I spend time talking to people initially about what does it mean to be a leader in your own life? What are the practices? What are the tenets of that? And then we talk about, as a leader, you have to have a goal. You have to have a target. And so the second part of the framework is really looking at what is your purpose? What are you here for? What's your calling? Once people can become clear on their purpose or calling in life, we can then talk about the resources that you need to get to that calling. And that's where we move to the place of managing your energy, managing the resources that are going to help you move toward that purpose. The last piece of the framework is really looking at the system as a whole. You don't just get to purpose accidentally. There is a whole system that is in place that's going to help you navigate that bumpy road, that bumpy journey to purpose. Because that journey to purpose is really your life. And so this framework, this self-leadership framework, has been established as a guide to help all of us be the best version of ourselves, and frankly, to help all of us learn how to lead our lives instead of following it. When you are in a position of leading your life instead of following it, That is when you are practicing best self living. Best self living is when you are feeling confident and strong in who you are, in what you are all about. You are happy and joyful in your life. You are connected to people. It's really when you are at your very, very best, as opposed to the other end of the spectrum, which I refer to as compromised living. And compromised living is frankly the women where you had the woman where you had her hair standing on end, and the women that are looking uncertain all the time or just exhausted. That's the compromised living. Best self living is represented here. And that's my desire for all of us. For you to be able to stand strong in who you are and what you believe in. For you to be able to enjoy your life. For you to be able to be connected to people and things that help make you feel good. With that in mind, what is your best self? I mean, what would you really be doing if you said, I am living as my best self? I'm putting best self living into practice. What is that? We so often do not step back and really think about that. That's exactly what I want you to do, is to step back and think about, who are you at your very, very best? This is not someone that you have never been before. This is someone that has shown up in your life. This is someone that you've been, but maybe you want to be that person more often. This is when you're the most proud of yourself. You're happy with how you treated other people. You're happy with how you treated yourself. This is when you are what I refer to as a rock star. This is the best version of yourself. So what is that for you? If you're going to practice best self living, I need to know, and you more importantly need to know, what does that look like for you?
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจ ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
So what are you doing when you are being the best version of yourself? How are you treating other people? How are you thinking about things? How are you reacting to difficult situations? Who are you at your best? Folks, that is your assignment for today. The challenge that I'm going to give you today is to do a best self-discovery. I want you to sit back and identify at least 3 to 5 words that describe you when you're at your best. If you need some guiding questions, I've posted them here. Think about how you treat other people. Think about the activities that you're doing when you're at your best. Think about how you feel physically, emotionally, and mentally when you're at your best. And how do you handle a difficult situation? Remember, this is a person that you have been before. This is not a fictional character. You've been this person. The desire is just to be this person more often. But we have to name this person. We have to identify how she shows up, what she does, how she feels. And so for today, I challenge you to sit back and identify 3 to 5 words that are going to describe you at your very, very best. And this is critical. This is step 1, because this is going to help give us a bar, a target that we're going after. This is you at your best. So this hopefully will be a fun assignment. This is great, but you have to remember, being your best self requires air. And so that's why we are all here. We're going to identify the air that you need to be able to be those 3 to 5 words. What is the practice that's going to give you the air? What is it that works for you? Are you a person that needs to get up and move? Do you need to be connected to people and talking to friends or family? Do you need time by yourself to just sit and have a cup of tea? Do you need to be getting up and playing? What is it that works for you? And the reason why I keep harping on this question is because I can't answer it for you. It's so unique to each and every one of us. But that's the beauty of it. Once we can identify that special behavior or that special practice or task, the thing that gives you air, that's when you have the power. Because it's like a special tool you have in your back pocket when you are feeling like all those demands, all those things on the sticky notes are coming at you. When that is happening to you, you can pull that resource out of your back pocket, tap into it, and get ready to handle your business. I'm so excited that you have joined this challenge. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you would like to email me, you can email me directly at lseth@leadhersolutions. Hopefully, you will reach out if you have any questions. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to remind you to do your challenge task for day 1. And I will look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Take care.